Welcome to In the Workshop, a hand-powered drill press. I acquired this machine recently and I've never seen one up close before. This video shows how it works. Obviously you wind the handle and it drills a hole. But it's much cleverer than that. And I do like this hand wheel. I can't help thinking it would make a great flywheel for a steam engine. But that's enough of that. The gears are meshing a little bit too closely because they make a horrible noise. And there's no sign of any oil whatsoever, so I think I will just treat it to some oil before I start messing about with it. This is my normal steam engine lubricating oil, with just a hint of rapeseed oil as an anti-friction additive. On the main drive shaft to the gear is a cam, and this cam moves an arm, which in turn moves something else at the top of the drill. It moves this rocker shaft back and forth, and on the top of the rocker shaft is fitted a thing called a pawl. P-A-W-L, and this pawl can be swung into position to engage the teeth of a ratchet wheel. So every time you turn the handle, the pawl advances the ratchet wheel a very small amount, which moves the chuck in a downward direction. The gear meshing sounds horrible. The gears are too tight against each other, so I'm just going to have a quick look at the flywheel and see how it's fastened. I see, it's just nipped onto a flat on the actual shaft. I tried to reposition it, but it went back to where it was in the first place every time, so I need to make a bronze thrust washer to fit between the casting and the flywheel. By doing that, it won't make this horrible noise. I think I'll try some more oil. This is quite a clever mechanism. The more I look at it, the more impressed I am with it. For such a simple machine, it is complicated. And furthermore, it is a 2-speed machine, and this is how you change gear. It's not too dissimilar to the way my traction engine is able to change gear. The gear that is attached to the primary shaft has 2 sets of teeth on it, and these are 2 adjustable gears that can be moved to engage the larger outside gear or the smaller inside gear. Turning this hand wheel anti-clockwise lifts the gear to engage the inner one on the main drive gear. That is the slow speed. If you turn the hand wheel in a clockwise direction, it locks the bottom gear into position with the teeth around the edge. The entire machine is mainly made from cast iron, and the cover is easily removed by just taking out these 2 machine screws. Health and safety warning: if you are dismantling machines like this, be very careful not to drop heavy parts on your toes. With the cover removed, you can see the gear arrangement far more clearly. This is a piece of equipment from a bygone age. I mean, now you would just use a battery-powered electric drill. But this will outlive any battery-powered electric drill by a factor of about 10, I would think. It's built like a tank. Here you can clearly see how the sliding gears engage and disengage with their respective larger gear or smaller gear. This, for instance, is how the slow speed is set, and this selects the high-speed gear. In the low-speed gear, the crank handle will be much easier to turn as you drill something, and similarly, if you select the high-speed gear, the handle will be much more difficult to turn, particularly if you're drilling a hard piece of metal. Here you can clearly see the principle. I'm simulating drilling something, winding the handle vigorously and watching the pawl turn the ratchet wheel. Right on top of this drill press is a handle, so that once the drill has advanced fully in a downward direction, you can wind it back up using the handle like this. I can't say that the engineering is very precision. Everything is quite loose, but I'm sure it works very well. I think I'll refit the guard, being very careful once again not to drop it on my toes. I'm a bit paranoid about this because I once dropped a steam cylinder on one of my toes, and since then the nail has not grown properly. It looks like something from a horror film. Quite a while after I dropped the large steam cylinder on my toe, I went to see a podiatrist to get it fixed. I was supposed to make another appointment, but then the pandemic hit, so I'll wait until that subsides and then make a second appointment to trim it and make it look like something that is human. It doesn't hurt, it just doesn't look very good, having one big toenail that looks like the one on the mummy of Ramesses II. With the guard safely fixed back onto the drill press, after giving the flywheel a quick spin to make sure nothing was fouling, I thought I would drill a hole. There was already several small holes in the base of this machine, all in the same central position, so I just thought I will smooth it out and make it look like the hole is meant to be there. The machine is in the lower gear setting, and as you can see, it makes short work of drilling through the cast iron, and the hole in the cast iron looks a lot neater than it did. Had I have carried on, I could have gone all the way through the cast iron base. But that wasn't really necessary. So there you have it, that's how this simple machine works. It's a Bradson No. 5. Looking at it, I was wondering what it would look like in Hammerite blue, like my Smart & Brown lathe, but then I stopped myself there. I've got plenty of work to do without doing this. Now you know how a manual drill press works. Stay healthy, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.